All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Faith in Home Buying, equipping people of faith for the home buying process. I'm here with my amazing colleague and co-host today, Leia Baraza. Leia, say hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy to be here. I'm Leia Baraza.
Absolutely. Well, Leia, thank you very much for coming on again. And I think it's super great. You've been doing some amazing things just in the space that you've been given. And, I just want to shed some light on that. But not only that, I just want to talk about, and I think this one today probably goes to a lot of agents that are trying to find their way, right? They're trying to find their niche on what makes them and makes them stand out. Right. I think it's beautiful. The scripture that talks about God, the gifts and callings of God are irrevocable, and that the Bible talks about also gifts making room for you. Right. The things that you do, the things that you like, the things that you're good at. It's the very reason why, for instance, we're in what we're doing. And I think for agents, for them to kind of hear from people that are maybe in the beginning stages of getting their foot out there and really making a name for themselves. They're actually finding their stride and the thing that they're good at. And then going beyond just a gift and seeing how this gift can be used for the world and to impact people. And I just think it's just so important just to kind of talk about our experiences. And so today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the experiences. We've talked about being moms, before, but really, how do you incorporate the very thing that you are, right? Being a mom, number one, being a real estate agent, number two, being, a wife, number three, being a person of faith, number four. Like, how do you incorporate that in the very space that you're in order to, number one, create a brand for yourself, and two, to attract buyers, and to attract sellers, to attract people to you. And I think we are walking that out, in the beginning stages, but I think we're walking it out very well. Just because we're taking everything that we have and who we are and saying, God, this is it, use it. And so, yeah, let's talk about that today, Leia. So, yeah, we know you're a mom. You've been doing some amazing events. And matter of fact, I mean, y'all, I'm telling you, like, the amount of faith that she has in order to even put these things on, and the people that come and they are attached to what she's doing, it's amazing. It really is. And it's by faith. And so we have many conversations about these. And so, yeah, I mean, I think just an encouragement, Leah, like, from the time that we first met, right? And you did your, momentum event to even now, like, what are some of the things that you have learned? Let somebody take a peek into Leia Baraza and
Right.
how she's been able to navigate this season of real estate.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for about 17 years and never really made any friends. I just was selling real estate. That's it.
Yep.
Well, you learn in the industry that it's not only how much money your buyer has, it's who who's listing the house. That really does help your buyers. And so I would build rapport with the agents, but I never became really friends with people. So when I was on my mission for 10 and a half months living in a van with the kids and my two dogs, and had to come back to California, which was not something that I was really planning on, but God had another plan for me, is when I discovered by listening to God and asking him, what is the reason why I'm back in California? He told me I needed to do more. And I didn't understand what that meant, but I do know how to have parties. So I said, well, then let me do some community events. And the first event was for women that are top producers in real estate, primarily mothers is what I'm really focused on, mothers and grandmothers, and bringing them in so they can show, newbies or maybe women that you haven't been as successful as they wanted to be within the real estate industry, and just hearing the tips from these moms, hearing the stories, hearing how we bribe our kids to stay quiet when we're on the phone and they're in the back seat, or we have to go show a house and we have our kids and we got to go take them. So I wanted the audience to hear, whether it's men or women, I wanted them to hear how it is for a mother in this industry, and the struggles and the tribulations that we have to go through when we're trying to sell and buy houses with children.
Right.
And in the story is with Tamika and I, how we met, that was really a God thing too as well. um I don't know, should we go into that? Should we
I
talk
mean,
about?
well, yeah, we can, because again, there's purpose and destiny. You made a good thing that I want to highlight, right? It's what you thought you wanted to do, and God said, hold that thought. I needed you to go there and understand that you were doing something to get you, maybe break you out of a mindset, or maybe break you out of a particular place that you were like at that moment, unstuck. So to unstick you,
Yeah.
let me send you on a little bit of a trip. And then now I can utilize you. Now you're a little bit more pliable, because from kids you saw that you can do it, and you did it well, right? And it reminds me of this scripture, Proverbs 19:21. And I love the TPT version, but a person may have many ideas concerning God's plan for his life, but only the designs of God's purpose will succeed in the end, right? And I think that's just, poignant, even in real estate, because I've been in real estate for about the same amount of time as you, about 18 or so years, maybe have a year on you. But it hasn't been until the last maybe 5-6 years or so, I really started to hone in on, what, I'm going to be this person, and I'm going to do it differently than I did before. And that just shows that it doesn't necessarily matter your age or how long you've been into something on the industry. And hopefully someone catches this, but you can change, and you can evolve, and you can get better, and you can constantly be a learner, and constantly be a student, and constantly continue to push the boundaries on the very things that you think that right? And who would have thought, like, the very heart that you had for organizing, right, or to making events, who would have thought that would have teamed up with real estate?
And then most importantly, that's the first meetup that I do, but then the second one came after doing that first one. And which was the most important one, is which was God in real estate, but now has transcended to God in business. Because the goal is, as Christians, we need to be more bold about where we're having our conversations at. It does not necessarily need to be, on the specific Christian radio station, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the place where you worship at. I think that it most importantly has to be within our schools, within our workplaces. We have to be open and bold about our relationship with, kingdom, where we come from. When we're born, we forget, we get amnesia. So we forget where we came from. And when we start picking out the pieces and connecting the dots, we remember that we're from a much higher place. And as a representative, or as an ambassador, being here on earth, it's my job, my duty to find people like Tamika, who also remember where they've come from, and then to implement that into our work somehow. So I created the God in Business, and like you said, a lot of the events are really just coming together. I don't know what the location will be until maybe, I don't know, 7 days before. I don't know who's going to be on the panel until maybe, 4 days before the event. There's a lot of things that most professionals will be like, this is unheard of and this is ridiculous. But I feel like right now I'm in my training stage right now. I'm learning a lot in regards to, how to market, and which I was not big on marketing. I did not know how to really do that. I'm not big on social media or anything like that. I'm very connected with, my business is, because I've been in it so long, is my sphere of influence and referral based. But yeah, I'm learning a lot right now. And
Mhm.
And even in regards to sponsor. So, I
Mhm.
mean, bringing in sponsorships for your events. And I am sure we'll go into that in the next part on how we go about doing that.
Exactly. No, but you make a good point. And this is for anyone, even just coming into the industry, you've been in it for a little bit. Honestly, you take who you are right now, the things you like, the things you don't like, the thing, who are you? And I think now we're coming into an age, if you haven't felt it already, in this industry, that people want to know who you are. Why? Because a lot of times, and I think it's true, they're trying to replace agents, try to cut us out, that kind of thing. And believe it or not, in which I think will never die, is the human aspect, and the human
Mhm.
aspect of being able to work with someone who you trust, and to be able to know that someone's in your corner looking out for your best interests. I'm sorry, you can't replace that. And if you don't start doing that, and if you don't have that capacity of really helping people, well, then you know what, you probably will be replaced. And I wouldn't blame general society and general world, which thinks that we are like used car salesmen anyway. But bringing value to the very thing that you do, and when bringing value, what that looks like, right? And that looks like actually doing events for mothers that are in the industry, letting people see that there are human individuals that are in the industry, and what, you probably like them, and they probably look like you, act like you, and they have the same problems as you. And when we talk about in our next segment, what we're going to talk about, what has actually went on in these wonderful events. I was a part of one, yes, a speaker, and I was very, very thankful for that. But even God in business, some amazing things have happened during these events. And so we're going to talk about that next. And we're also going to talk about how people can go about sponsorship, getting people to sponsor, like why would they? And then, walking by faith. Actually in this next season, and if someone's interested in it, how they can walk by faith too. So stand by, faith in home buying, and equipping people of faith for the home buying process with Leia Baraza. All right, welcome back again, everyone. So our second half, we are going to talk more about using the gifts that Leia has done. So for instance, she loved events. She loves moms. She is one of 10, real estate, and, being able to bring people together, and how being able to have everything that she is. And we had talked about in the break, I had said something like, I think people, when you understand that you are enough, right? Because a lot of times people want to be other people. They want to do other things that they think that people want to see. But in all actuality, no, just be you. If you like, cooking, believe it or not, cooking in real estate, it can go hand in hand, right? You create a niche in the very thing that you are. And I believe if people would actually just look inward, and actually have it come out, you'd be surprised of the billions of people on the earth. You'll have people that will be attracted to you, guaranteed. It's all right if it's that 50 or if it's that 20. Believe me, it grows and it grows and it intensifies. Why? Because those people talk to their people, they talk to their people. And again, like attracts like. That being said, Leah, so for Momentum, like attracting light, I know you're one big on diversity. So talk about just how the mindset and the process that goes into these events, and how impactful has it been?
Right. Yeah. So I think a big part of momentum is not just the aspect of, hearing from moms, because you probably see different events that come up like that where it's, a woman or a mom event. But the thing that I would take note when I was looking at these events is that I would see that the panels all looked the same.
Mm-hmm.
The speakers all looked the same. It didn't matter if it was in the Black community, the white community, the Latino community, it was the
Mm-hmm.
same. And I was really conscious of that, being mixed background. I wanted to make sure that everybody was represented,
Right.
that we had different people of different backgrounds on the panel, and it was very obvious. And so that was something. And the interesting dynamic, we're in 2022, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting to know that, like, I might have a Black realtor, I might have a Mexican realtor, I might have a white realtor, an Asian realtor, and
Mm-hmm.
they've lived in Sacramento all their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and they're top producing agents,
Mm-hmm.
and they've never connected.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's the power that we're seeing on the panel for the panelists. But then
Mhm.
for the audience, now these people that are in the audience, who might be just starting out, might be under 5 million a
Mhm.
year in production,
Mhm.
they're being able to step up, step forward, and connect with people like Tamika, whereas before they would have never even reached out to Tamika. Tamika might
Mhm.
not have been where they're at. And so
Mhm.
they're watching these same stories on their Instagram or their Facebook and
Mhm.
their feeds, and all they're doing is staying right here in their little circle, instead
Right.
of stepping out and seeing like, hey, there's a Tamika Ellsworth out there, right? Like there's somebody that's very interesting, and you can get a lot of creative ideas from, and just learn how to serve your community, and
Mhm.
to be yourself. And that was something that really attracted me to you as a realtor and as a woman, was that I could see that you were very comfortable,
Mm.
in your V-neck t-shirt and
That's
your
right.
jeans.
So gotta be.
And I love that. And so being at the age that I'm at now, I think a lot of it has to do with maturity, definitely.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily, like you said, doesn't mean age. It just means
Yeah.
that I'm maturing now. And so
Mhm.
I'm learning like, okay, I know who I want to be. I know
Mhm.
what I want to be. And
Mhm.
I know that there's many people out in the world
Mhm.
that just need to find the tribe. They need to
Mhm.
find Leah tribe, or they need
Mhm.
to find
Mhm.
Tamika tribe, or they need to
Mhm.
find the Tamika and Leah tribe.
Yep. Yeah, no, because we're better together. Like honestly, what is the verse,
We
like
go
one
further.
5,000, two can put 10,000 to flight. And I think it's even more important that, not only just in the things that you are understandably like, right? But even the very things that I don't know about you, but I was told forever that the two things that you don't talk about in real estate are politics and your beliefs,
Religion. Mhm.
religion. Like those are the two things that you don't, even though, which is really ironic that, again, Jesus was the carpenter, home building, there was a lot of real estate in the Bible. But that was the main thing you just don't talk about. And I think when I finally, and this is for somebody too, I hope you catch this, like whatever industry that you're in, of course, within reason, you got to be respectful for some things. But there are some things too that I do believe that God's calling people to do even more in the situations or the realm that they're in. And when you let fear of man come in and distract that, there might be things that you need to say in order to encourage the next person or someone in your industry in order to help change it, in order to make it better, with integrity, with honesty, with truthfulness and loyalty. There are certain types of key components that I believe that, when you put it out there and say, yeah, absolutely, I'm a Christian, I love Christ, I believe in miracles, and I believe, guess what? That sets you up on a different standard, completely
Mhm.
different standard, where no more am I sitting here having to go and do the scrupulous, used car salesman lingo and how I behave and how I carry myself. But you know what? No, I'm an ambassador, as we talked about before. I'm an ambassador. And absolutely, my word is my word. When I say my yes is my yes, my no is my no, and the very thing and how I'm going to deal with business with you. Yeah, absolutely. I have morals and I have a moral compass and ethics that I'm
Mhm.
not only just, held to by the National, Association in California,
Right.
but the internal ethics that
Compass.
I have, that I am not going to compromise. And I'm going to be honest,
Right.
and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. And if anything, it holds you accountable, especially when you come out on social media and you say those very things, which I have, and I know you have as well, been very vocal about it. So people that do work with us, guess what? It's not only just me that I'm representing my God.
Mhm.
And, by no means am I going to sit here and do things that would tarnish that. Right. So again, with your God in business, that is taking it even to another level. Like, hey, I'm putting it out there like, hey, you know, let's talk about it. God in business. Talk
Right.
about that. Like how has that been impactful?
Well, I think definitely it has, for me personally, it has opened up my eyes to more discernment, to understand that, to also attract more people within the community to be able to guide me to, you know, give me their advice, give me their information. I can take and leave whatever it is that I feel
Yeah.
is my purpose, my path.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a lot of that. And then also the inspiration that's being put out into the community too, as well, that, hey, you know, Leah, maybe we should do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, go for it. Do it. Do it. Like, this isn't my thing. God and business is not my thing. I am, all listeners that are listening, I would love for you to start your own God and business. You
Mhm.
know, if not you, but like if people are open enough to talk about, it's Wednesday happy hour, you know, in the
Yeah.
office, who's going to happy hour?
Yep.
Then I think that it should be some place where for Christians that we can talk openly about it. And yeah, you're right, to do it in a very calm, I guess, I don't know what the word is, but to
Yeah.
be
Just
calm about
nonchalant.
it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
You
Yeah.
don't
That
have
was
to like
beautiful.
shove it down. You don't have to shove it down people's throats,
No.
because if you're living a kingdom lifestyle, then your
Mhm.
example and your life will shine anyway. So it doesn't matter about that. But
Right.
if I want to have a conversation about God, I just felt like I just want to be comfortable in doing it. So if I was able to
Mhm.
establish myself as the person that's the God and business girl, then that's what you said.
Mhm.
Like will attract like, and those that are not feeling where Leah is coming from in regards to God and Jesus, blessed Trinity, they will repel. And
Mhm.
I don't need the ones that aren't not feeling what Leah has to talk about. I just want to be with the ones that remember where they came from.
Right. Like it was the beginning of COVID, and I think 2020, and I got so tired of having to censor myself. I
Mhm.
got so tired of having to censor, these amazing things were happening with my clients, and I'm like, "Ah, if I don't call it a miracle, like I'm calling it something else. Like I had something to do with these things, and I didn't. I'm good, but I'm not, and people hear me say it all the time, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And I'm going to give glory to where it belongs, because I can't hold this in, and nor am I going to take that glory, because people have to know, like, there's other forces, there's other things that go on. And real estate just happens to be our medium, but there's other things that go on that humans play a part in. But you know what? There is an aspect of faith and of hope that is evident. And the fruit of that have been from even from God in business, even the events that you've put on, and how it has blessed people, even getting to the event and how certain things were set up, the speakers. There's an element of faith that you can't predict. So that there's something else going on, but by a little bit more than what our human understanding and comprehension sees. And you know what? It makes for a life of such adventure.
Mm.
Like one thing to adventure to be kind of driving out and being a nomad in different areas, but even more so, it's an adventure on the very thing that you've been doing for 18 years, and how much more it's even an adventure because you're living it by the Spirit.
Right.
Talk about that, because I know that's, we only have a little bit of time left, but, how can someone, yeah, talk about that, just the adventure.
I think to understand when things aren't going the way that you want them to go,
Hmm.
then you know that something better is going to be coming,
Yeah.
because you had a plan, but God Father has a plan for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit back, be obedient, and wait and see what happens. And we can continue to strive to do, but if it hurts you and it causes anguish and frustration, for me personally, I'm learning now that, oh, it's because I'm supposed to do something else. I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
supposed to be over there.
Pivot.
I'm supposed to do
Hmm.
something else.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's been the greatest reward for me personally.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And guess what? The sponsorship comes. We didn't really delve into that, but it's the truth. If you want to contact Leah, how can they contact you to ask to do their own momentum
Oh,
or business?
would love for them to do it. On Instagram at Leah_momentum. My phone number is 916-879-4435 for any real estate needs too. I do that as well. So
Exactly. And when's your next event?
next event is going to be November 3rd in Elk Grove.
in Elk Grove. Any information that you want, call her up, 916-879-4435, or you can give me a holler. Believe me, I'll lead you in the right direction. Tamika Ellsworth on Instagram. And you know, I'm on TikTok, real-estate_T, phone number 408-561-7922. Thank y'all again for tuning in. And hey, we're equipping people of faith for the home buying process. Be blessed, y'all.